when you talk to Tom, he will tell you, he's like, I don't know, I was just an electrician, right? That's the first thing he'll say to you. I was just a kid from Maine, I was just an electrician. And I think, first of all, that's not at all true.
Tom's a pretty outgoing fellow. Yeah, pretty jovial.
Tom has an aura about him. People know when he's in the room. He's beyond likable.
Oh, look at this! Look at this!
Anybody that I talked to about Tom just said he was great. You know, he made connections, he lined up the work, and then he got out of the way and he let us do our job.
Hey, good afternoon. How are you? My dad was an electrician all his life, and he actually started his own business in 1972, I believe. So he was always doing something on the weekend, and I got to tag along behind him. And I got my start in the industry probably at 7 or 8, because Dad would bring me along, and if there was some place that he didn't want to crawl and staple wire, Tommy got to do it. And I can tell you some stories about places that I got into that, oh my God, it's like, Dad, I'm not going down there. He says, I'm not going down there. You get your butt down there and get it going. As the saying goes, that's where it all started. And after my second year at college, I came home and they were rebuilding the number 2 paper machine at an international paper company. I started working 6/10 nights in 1980. And if you can imagine 1980 working nights, that was great except for Sunday night when TVs went blank at midnight. They signed off with the national anthem. And then there was nothing to do. And you've been working until 4 o'clock in the morning, 6 days a week, and then Sunday night, what the heck do you do? And when my dad and I went out on our own, January 1st of 1986, I had a pickup truck, and Dad in El Camino, I think. Those were the Nason electric vehicles. And my dad had a shop in Leeds that he had when he was in business previously, so we kind of set up an office there and got started. And I ended up closing the business in January of 2002. And I had an opportunity to go to work for a couple local contractors in the Portland area and decided to go work for E.S. Bola's company. As a estimator and a junior project manager, went on to manage a lot of projects in the Bangor area. We did the Hollywood Casino up in Bangor. That was one of the big ones we did. The Margaret Chase Smith Federal Building, Penobscot Judicial Center, jobs down at Jackson Labs, as well as work in the Portland area. Really had a lot on my plate. I managed anywhere from $25 to $30 million in projects at any one time. But I'll tell you, sitting here as we talk about a M.A.C. award, I didn't do any of it. I was lucky enough to be able to manage the projects, but the people I worked with, I never like to use the word I. We really did wonderful stuff, and we made money for the company. And it's because we collaborated.
The M.A.C. award is meant to be for someone who's had a major impact on the construction industry. Sometimes that's a major impact on AGC, sometimes it's the industry in general.
I think he was a really unique person in the construction industry who knew his role, he knew his lane.
My thought process, if you were my general foreman on a job or superintendent, here's my deal. It's your job to run. I'm not going to micromanage you. I'm not going to look over your shoulder. I'll make sure you have the people, materials, support, but I only am going to come around when you need me, and if you need me, call me. But it's your job.
He was that type of leader where if he told you something, there was a pretty good chance he'd already done it. The people that excel are the ones that work hard, and they're the ones that turn into leaders, and they're the people that you want to follow them. They set examples, or they set a standard that it sets your companies up for success, and Tom did that.
I'll tell you what, I'm not the smartest, sharpest tack in the box. I never admitted to being that or said I was, and you can't be afraid to surround yourself with people who are smarter than you and better at other things, because as a team, you're all going to succeed. And that's been my thought process all my life.
Tom spent most of his life in construction, in the electrical side of things.
He was passionate about the construction industry. He was committed to the success of his company. He was committed to the success of AGC.
The best part of being president of AGC Maine, I think, was to be able to have the opportunity to really get to know contractors from all segments of the industry and have them become friends.
Because he was a subcontractor, most people in the construction industry have had a chance to work with him personally or with the companies he worked for. So he's very, very well known in the local construction community.
One of the things I think that Tom taught me, when you have 100 employees, you go a lot further when you know their names, and you go a lot further when you walk out in the field and you shake their hands and they know who you are. You saw that a lot of the people that on the construction sites that we walked, they walked up and said, "Hey Tom, how are you doing?" And that's because he made that effort. He was visible, not the invisible guy in an office who was punching numbers, but he had the ability to get out in the field and make sure people knew who you were. I think a lot of Tom's, outside of just the natural electrical career functions that he had, I think I think his Shriner attributes are the ones that, they really show what he's about and what he cares about.
To become a Shriner, you have to be a Mason. I became a Mason in 1981. Both my grandfather, my dad, uncles, pretty much the whole family were all Masons. My grandfather was a Shriner, my dad was a Shriner, and I want to get involved.
I've known Tom most of the time that I've been a Shriner. Well, Tom certainly had a significant impact to Shriners overall.
Well, I was Potentate of Corps Shrine in 2007. Huge honor to be able to lead the Shrine men and women. It's unlike any other job you'll ever have. To see the kids come in, we always went up for the board, and then we'd have a patient interview or something, and to see these kids and what they're going through, and to know that you're impacting their lives. And what every one of us does, whether we ride in a mini racer up and down the street in a parade or put on costumes or whatever, we're impacting the lives of kids. And that's the most important part of being a Shriner.
The driving force, I think, behind Shriners is that we are all Freemasons. We're all Master Masons. And the mantra of Freemasonry is we make good men better through the teachings of Masonry. Live uprightly, be honest, help your brothers, help your brother Masons and your brother Shriners. And everybody here, I believe, lives by that motto and lives it every day.
Life story.
Tom is a phenomenal golfer. It's his sport. The guy lives, eats, and breathes it. He was generally trying to explain to me how important it was to the business portion of our world, bearing in mind that you start out as an electrician and all of a sudden that you're not anymore. He's also an avid member in his golf community and what he does at the Augusta Country Club. Whether he's out golfing or he's rewiring something that they need, he's that guy. So he definitely pushes that out. That's kind of how he operates.
In terms of his legacy within the industry, he has been involved in so many of the state's important large electrical projects throughout his career. And also most recently, he was the one who put a stake in the ground in Maine for Sargent Electric and started that office and built that team.
Tom is the guy that got the office set up. He's the guy that got the trucks on the road. We put a lot of employees in the field. We employ around 100 electricians on any given day, and we've been as high as 140. So to me, that is a fairly substantial impact on construction because not everybody can say they've put that many people to work and they consistently put that many people to work.
His family is very important to him, and that is something that he frequently shared. His wife is very important, and I think that partnership is something that showed through. And Tom also always made everyone else feel like family. He definitely was a person that would take someone under his wing and make them family.
he's kind of the pinnacle of what you shoot for. You hope to get through the 30 or 40 years of what we call construction, which is in some days is not as easy as others. And you get to that point where you finally get to start enjoying life.
To be honored with this award, and it's just mind-boggling to me. But it's not about me. It's about everybody I worked with through the years. My father. Taught me everything I know. And he's watching down, and he's proud. But there are so many good people in this industry.
Tom and Judy, I want to say congratulations on this award. It's well-deserved. My wife Becky recognizes that for the time that she was able to work with you at other construction firms, and I know that has meant a great deal to you in your work life. So congratulations.
Tom, if nothing else, I'll never be able to thank you enough for what you've done for me and my career and my family. You deserve everything in retirement that you should get. And again, you've done the industry a huge favor. You've created a situation where we employ well over 100 people, and that in itself is a huge feather in someone's hat. So I truly appreciate what you did, where you've been, and where you're going.
Thank you for everything that you have done for the construction industry. Thank you for being my mentor as the AGC board president, and it's big shoes to fill. Wishing you great health, plenty of time on the golf course, and we really hope to see you because you still add value to this organization.
Tom, I know you'll probably argue that you have no idea why we selected you for this award, but I can't think of anyone more deserving of the M.A.C award this year than you. Thank you for all you've done for me and for AGC Maine, and congratulations.